Hi, my name is Cody, and I wanted to go over the user experience for Mail Protector today. So first things first, I wanted to go over the message review notifications. These are going to be coming through based on your message review schedule, and this is how 99% of our clients log into the console. So you're going to get these based on your schedule, and it's going to tell you when it was sent, how many messages you have to review, and how long ago you reviewed your messages. This button to review my messages will lead you to the Mail Protector console, but a little bit of extra information down below. You can review which email address this was generated for, and additionally, if this button doesn't work for any reason, we do give the direct link to the button, so you can always copy and paste this into a browser, and that'll work just as well as this button. But we're going to go ahead and hit this button to indicate where you're going to be sent. So this is going to send you directly to the quarantine for your email. In this section, we're only going to display what we've deemed you need to look at and is relevant. This is based on the message review visibility that you've set up in the settings, and we'll go over that in a little bit also. Really quick, what's shown here is how Mail Protector has rated this. So these, for example, we've rated as obvious junk. And then a little to the right of that, we've shown you what score we've given this, which is 400. We'll go over scoring and kind of how it varies a little bit later also, but 400 is pretty high. Our system scores up to 1,000 maximum, and anything above 200 is considered most likely junk. So on the left side here, it's going to tell you who sent this email, what the subject is, and then it's going to give you the option to block the sender or deliver the email. If you block the sender, it's going to prevent emails from showing up in this view in the future, and it's also going to prevent emails from getting to your inbox. So if you select block sender here, we're going to quarantine all emails that come from this address here. If you do hit deliver on this, a message is going to pop up, and it's going to ask you if you want to add this sender to the allow list for the future. If you don't want to always allow email through to your inbox from this person, you can select no. If you do want to have it always be sent to your inbox without being quarantined, you can select yes. For me, in this case, I'm going to hit no because I want to block Ray Guy in the future. If you scroll down, you'll notice that it says you're all caught up. Nice. Effectively, what this means is that we've seen that you've reviewed these messages, and we're not going to send you another message review if you don't receive any new messages. We wanted to reduce the noise and make sure that you're not seeing more than you need to, and you don't just click a button to view an empty inbox effectively. If you scroll a little further down, you'll notice that it tells you when your next review is scheduled for. And if you hit this down arrow, it's going to present to you the schedule that's currently configured for you. So right now, I have a message review notification that sends every 1 hour between 12 a.m. and 11 p.m. These can all be adjusted between 1 and 24 hours, and then the time can be adjusted any time of the day. Most people have theirs set up to send between business hours, which is 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. As this says, this setting is saved, so I've adjusted my message review schedule, and then I can hit this up arrow and it collapses it again. Just below this, we're going to tell you how much time we've saved you and how many emails we've blocked based on the volume we're seeing. Just below that, you can see this button for view all held messages. This is going to bring you to the quarantine for your inbox, and it's going to show you all the messages regardless of your message review visibility. There are 2 other buttons that do the exact same thing. There's one up here, view all 17 held messages. And then off to the left here, there's this little file box, and you can select this and it will bring you to the same area also. First things first though, we're going to go check out the profile. So up in the top right hand corner, I'm going to select my name, and then I'm going to select edit my profile. This is where you can change your name if your name changes for any reason, and then your time zone. Additional functionality, there's going to be password. Here you can adjust your password that logs you into the console. Most people don't have a password set up, and that is actually for security reasons. It's safer to have you sign in with an email message than it is to have a password, because there's a lot more security involved in your email than there is in a single word password. The notifications section, this is going to tell us where you want us to send notifications. So in this case, it's to my email address. You can add additional people if you want multiple notifications to go out to different mailboxes, or you can delete these and just send these notifications to a different mailbox if you'd like altogether. Just below this section, this is going to tell us when you want to receive message review notifications. So right now I'm set to 24/7, 365 days a year. If I only want to receive notifications during my working hours, I can select this, and I can actually toggle which days I want to see message review notifications come in. And then I can also adjust the times here if I'd like. If you scroll down, there's this message feed section. This is if you want a live feed of your quarantine. This can create a lot of noise because it's not going to take into account message review visibility. The message feed is going to provide you a live update of everything that comes through that Mail Protector blocks. If you want help setting this up, you should contact your IT professional and they'll give you some assistance. All right, I am going to set this back to 24 hours because they're very helpful. And that's pretty much it for the profile. The other sections about this service and sign out are fairly straightforward. About this service is going to pop you up a little infotron about Mail Protector, and the sign out button would sign you out of your console in this case. If I hit this back arrow, it is going to lead me directly to my quarantine, which is this file folder. In the quarantine, this is going to let you know everything that was blocked, regardless of message review visibility. On the right-hand side, again, we have these shields that are going to tell you what the emails were scored and then how Mail Protector feels about them. Orange is less severe, and then red is the most severe. If I click one of these, it's going to show up just like an email in my inbox, and it's going to show the contents of the email that was blocked. If you select this Show Images button, it will display the images. We don't display images, one, because it can notify the person that sent the email that you've received it, and two, because some images can be less than savory. Up at the top here, there is one option. This From section can drop down, and I can actually block or allow this sender in the future also. Or I can select to filter them normally, which I'm going to leave it as is. It's going to tell you who this was being sent to, the subject again, and then when it was sent, and again, the scoring that Mail Protector provided. There's an Analytics tab here. This is going to tell you, again, the score that Mail Protector provided, but we're going to break down why we gave the email that score. If I click any of these options, it's going to tell me exactly what the tag means. Junk URL, it's going to say it contained content matching our junk URL heuristics. And then additionally, we provide any rules that were triggered. So I have a rule in here that blocks all emails that contain this word, and it's going to tell me that this email was blocked for that reason. A little further down, we're going to give relevant envelope information. This gives information on who sent the email and then the recipient. This is stripped down header information. It's meant to provide a quick snapshot of who sent the email and maybe how to let them through in the future or prevent them in the future. And below that, we provide a map, which is going to provide where the email came from. In this case, it was California. These maps aren't always 100% accurate, but they can help narrow down where email's coming from, so maybe you can block based on that. The third tab here is going to break down all the relevant hops through the internet. So this is going to be all the servers that were contacted throughout. So you can see that it hit Google's server here, and then it jumped to Mail Protector's server, and then it's going to jump to our filtering section of our servers, and then it's going to jump to the spam quarantine, which is a different server. We're going to hop back to preview here. If you want to deliver this message, you can select the deliver option here. You could also select this little box over here, and there's an option to deliver. There's also an option to delete messages. If you want to keep this cleaned up, you can always select all and then hit the delete button, and it'll clear out your quarantine inbox here. A few other options, if I'm not selecting anything, I can actually sort. So this will sort highest to lowest. If I flip this, it sorts lowest to highest. And then right now, by default, it sorts by date. I can also sort by score, from, and to. And then additionally, if you use our outbound filtering, you can filter by sent email, and it will let you know if an email was blocked that you attempted to send. Most people are going to be working with received, so that's why that's the default here. Additionally, you can decide to list emails that are marked as spam, policy, or viruses. Spam is going to be anything that comes through that doesn't have a rule associated with it. And then policy are all of the rules that you've created or your IT professional has created. And then virus is fairly straightforward. These are emails that we believe contain a virus. That's going to be your quarantine. The last and final section I want to go over are the settings for your account. So these are going to be where you adjust how email is handled by Mail Protector. So we have the allow rules here, and this is for inbound only. If something is added to the allow rule, we're going to let it through the filter regardless, unless it contains a virus. If an email contains a virus, Mail Protector will always prevent that email from going through. This field is an exact match. So as an example, if I type in example.com here, I'm not going to prevent examples.com from coming through. I'm only going to prevent example.com from coming through. Also, if I just type in the word example, it's going to prevent me from adding it because it's not exact enough. Effectively, I have to add a domain or a direct email address. The block rule functions the exact same as the allow rules, except for it's going to do the opposite function. It's going to prevent email from coming through. Now, if I add an email address called cody@example.com here, and then I decide to block example.com down here, we're going to block Joe, Mary, John at example.com. But if we see an email from Cody@example.com, we're going to let that through. So just so you know, allow rules are always going to trump block rules. All right, if we scroll down a little further, we're going to see message review notifications. These are what you receive in your email, and this is where you can disable them if you don't want to see them anymore. You would just simply toggle this off, and once it's saved, you won't be receiving them anymore. This is also where you can adjust your schedule, which is the same area as before with the little drop-down arrow. It's the same functionality, and it provides the same options here. And then just below this, we're going to let you know when the next one's expected and when the last one was successfully sent out. Below this section, we're going to have spam tolerance and message review visibility. We've gone over this quite a bit throughout, but you'll notice that we have these shields here that also label how Mail Protector perceives these emails. So we've tuned our system around the number 200. The spam tolerance of 200 works for 95% of people. This can be adjusted, so you can slide this up or down based on how much you want to receive. And then you'll notice that this did break apart. What this does is with this setting currently, we're going to deliver everything that is scored 250 or lower. And then anything between 200 and 250, we're going to tag the subject with the words possible spam. This message can be adjusted, so I could say most likely spam, and that's how we're going to tag the subject. It's however you want to identify the emails in this category. We do have a few different options that are default based on past experiences that Mail Protector has had. We have the tag and deliver all option. What this is going to do is it's going to deliver everything to you, but we're going to let you know when Mail Protector would have marked it as spam. The passive option means that we're going to deliver more, and we're going to let you tag everything in between 220 and 280. Normal is, just as I said, what works for the vast majority of people, which is 200. Aggressive means we're going to end up blocking more, so we're going to prevent everything coming through that scores 180 or higher, but we're going to let through everything 180 or lower. And then we have maximum security, which effectively says that Mail Protector is not going to let any email through regardless of score. So if anything scores 0 or higher, we're going to prevent it. And nothing can score lower than 0 at Mail Protector. So nothing will end up going through. Off indicates that you don't want to use Mail Protector's filtering services, and it shuts the filter off. So we won't end up quarantining anything for you. I'm going to set this back to normal though, because that's what works for me. And then last but not least, we have message review visibility. So the message review visibility is going to tell us when to send you a message review. So if I have this set to 400, which is the default for everybody, we're going to block everything that is in the possible junk or likely junk section. So anything between 200 and 400. But we're going to send you a message review notification if we see emails within this gap. So if anything scores between 200 and 400, we're going to send you a message review notification based on that. If I turn this up, now we're going to deliver a message review notification if anything scores between 200 and 500, and then so on. 600 is the maximum that it's set to. I'm sure you noticed earlier I said we score up to 1,000. Personally, we've never seen an email that someone wants to deliver that scores higher than 600. If you run into that situation, you can contact your IT provider and they can get that situation sorted out for you. All right, that's going to be everything for the user experience. If you guys have any questions or concerns, you can always contact your IT provider, and I'm sure they'll be more than happy to help.